Not many people know this about me, but I've actually been a small business owner part-time in addition to having a full-time job since about 2015, 2016, when I was given an opportunity to help my parents try to get their farm out of basically business that was not making any money. And my idea was, after my dad had refurbished a home, instead of renting it out, to actually have it as an Airbnb. This began our family business in having a farmstead Airbnb, and that is the platform we still continue to use, and we host families from time to time in the house. It is a working farm, although we have gone on hiatus since my dad passed away in 2023. And we've been basically just learning all the things that he would do to maintain the business, which has been an incredible amount of work. I don't think my mom and I fully realized all the things that he would do for us every day in the work with this farm. And I'm tearing up because it's really hard for me to say this, but you sometimes don't know how much people love you until they're gone. And that's been a hard thing to learn over the last couple of years. Since my dad passed, I've taken on a majority of the financial and business decisions of the farm in conjunction with my mom and her help. Sustaining a property that's been in my family for 5 generations is incredibly important to me, and we don't want it to go to shit. So I have been tasked with trying to build this farm up and make it a better place. One of the things that I've been doing since 2015, 2016 is filing my taxes. So I wanted to just quickly show you my process for filing taxes, because I have learned over the years that there's no simple way to do this, and it can be really frustrating and tiring. And did you even know that in other countries, they don't even file taxes? It's incredible that we have to do all this work just to maintain a livelihood of our small business. We're not a corporation. We should probably actually just be a nonprofit at this point, but we are technically a small business. So I do file as self-employed. Filing self-employed does allow me to be kind of a part-time business owner in addition to actually having my full-time job. So I keep receipts like crazy all year, and I organize them in a file folder system. And then by year end, or when I have time to file taxes, I then input all of my expenses into a spreadsheet. Some people use software that packages various ones. I am old school and just literally use a spreadsheet. It's worked for me over the years, and it's been really helpful come tax time. So we write off a lot of things related to the repair work that's needed to maintain the farmhouse, but also things like, for example, I had to get a part for a home washer that we are installing. So that is an expense from True Value. We had a business meeting at a restaurant, and we talked about the future of the farm, various different investments. So occasionally I will have a restaurant receipt that I will write off. That's pretty rare, but I do occasionally write them off. Another thing that I do to write for write-offs is my to and from expenses. So I log every time I get gas, I put it in a spreadsheet with the receipt. You can do this more easily if you use online banking services, because they will actually have I have Chase for my credit card. And so Chase allows me to pull up expenditures that are gas and input those quickly. I can export that fairly quickly from the software into an Excel spreadsheet, but also I keep receipts, or I try to get receipts as often as I can from gas companies. And then I put that as another business expense for to and from. Those are just some of the expenses that I have going on this year. A big expense for 2025 for me will be seeds. We're trying to start a flower farm. So I have been picking up all kinds of supplies related to seeds and flowers and starts and equipment. in order to make that happen on the farm. So those are also expenses that I have and I put into a spreadsheet. So it's really complicated, your taxes, and I highly recommend reaching out to a tax professional. I use H&R Block and I do my own taxes using their software, but it goes through a process where they look at it. And even I have made mistakes on my taxes, and then I get a letter in the mail, which looks really scary, from like Franchise Tax Board in our case, since I'm in California, or from the IRS. And don't be afraid. It is what it is. Things happen. Everybody makes mistakes. I would just recommend being able to go in during tax season to an H&R Block or TurboTax professional, or seeking help where you can, because it's a really complicated system. And unfortunately, administration to administration, they change the taxes year to year in order to increase their amount of money that they receive from the federal government. So just be aware of these things. I know it's hard, especially if you're new to starting a business, or if you're just trying to get off the ground and try to improve your business. These are some helpful tips that I use, and I hope that it will help you as well.